Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and today I'm going to talk about an oriental floral fragrance. I usually don't talk about floral fragrances because, as you all know, I'm not into floral fragrances, but this one is very unique and very special. And I was lucky to come across this fragrance, and I decided to do a review of it. Now, this one has been launched a while ago, and I don't know where I have been. I don't know why I never came across this beauty, but this is the Rosendo Mateu Nº 5 Floral, Amber, and Sensual Musk. Yes, it actually says some of the accords on the label of the fragrance. Now, as I said, this one was launched in 2017, and the nose behind this fragrance is the master perfumist Rosendo Mateu. Now, this is a very unique floral fragrance. First of all, I love the bottle. I have to say it's very simple, but it's very classy at the same time. And the golden plate on top of it, I don't know if it's a plate or if it is a some kind of a sticker. I don't know, but it feels very robust and it actually feels kind of metallic. So, but it's a gorgeous, beautiful bottle. The presentation is just really nice. I do really like the bottle. Now, with that being said, let's give it a spray and see what type of an accord we get on the initial spray. First of all, the sprayer is great because I already sprayed this. I give it some, try on this to see what's the dry down on this. And I love this sprayer. As you can tell, it sprays really nicely. And let's see what we get on the initial spray with this fragrance. It's really interesting, and I think that's why I really like this fragrance. On the opening, it is not very floral at all. I actually get this leather vibe from this fragrance. It has this kind of a very warm, spicy amber type of an opening, leathery amber, velvety amber type of an opening, which I really like. But then as it settles down, some facets of floral, they start coming out, and I can see where the floral is at, but it's not very heavy on the floral accords, which that's why I really like this fragrance. It's a very classy, luxurious fragrance. Like, smells very high class, it smells very expensive. I really like the opening. It's very gorgeous. It has a great dose of vanilla in here. So I get the vanilla accord in here. And now that's settling on my skin, I can also smell the muskiness in here, which is really nice and clean at the same time. But there is something in there that makes it heavy. Makes it kind of leathery. The leather is not animalic. It's more like velvety, like the material. It's almost like dusty, which I think it kind of makes it powdery at the same time. So this is what I get. And now that's settling down, at the end, there is this almost a little bit of inky bitterness on the bottom part of it, which is almost candied, like it's candy-like, but it's not a sweet candy. It's almost like a bitter, inky type of a syrupy type of a candy that I get on the bottom, which is layered on the top with this dusty, gorgeous leather type of a feel of the fragrance, which I think is just the amber, and it's the warm, spicy notes that are mixed that create that dusty, leathery vibe about this fragrance. So these are the accords that I get with this fragrance. It's definitely warm, spicy. It's definitely floral, but you have really a big dose of vanilla and a very nice, beautiful amber in this fragrance. The amber is very unique. It's not your amber absolute type of an amber. It's a different type of an amber. It's very unique and new take of amber, which I truly like about this fragrance. It's really unique. It's very interesting. It's done to literally to perfection. It's blended very nice and smoothly. It's very rounded up. It's very smooth, and it's, like I said, it's very luxurious. It's very high class. So it's very beautiful fragrance. So this is what I get as far as the chords of this fragrance goes. It has this really interesting thing now that I'm talking, and it's kind of spreading in the air. The floral is kind of coming forward. And what I smell, I definitely smell the lily of the valley, and it's very beautiful. It's coming out. I can smell, I don't even have to put my nose on because it's basically pretty strong, and it filled out the whole room right now. And yes, the floral is coming out, and I can definitely smell lily of the valley, as I mentioned. And there's this really interesting natural spring sensation about this fragrance that's combined with spice notes and saffron type of feel or effect, that when it's mixed with the amber and the vanilla, it kind of gives it that leathery, or I should say dusty vibe to this fragrance, which is really interesting. So this is now what I'm getting from this fragrance that's settling on my skin, and also kind of the smell is evaporating in the room, and I can smell it. Kind of like the base is coming out in the room, in the air. So I can smell, and I can kind of tell how the fragrance is basically opening up. And so it's kind of turning definitely into a floral type of fragrance, but at the same time, it's keeping its strength, and it's really heavy and kind of, as I said, very luxurious, sophisticated, and high class, which most of the fragrances that I talk about are kind of like that. They do have that type of feel, and this one definitely has that. It has that expensive vibe about it, which is really nice. So this is as far as the accords and vibe that I get. It feels like a fresh Oriental style type of fragrance, and also warm and spicy at the same time. So that's as far as the accords of this fragrance goes. Let's get to the notes of this fragrance. The prominent notes in this fragrance are amber, vanilla, musk, exotic floral notes, spices, carnation, and lily of the valley. Now, I definitely get the lily of the valley in this fragrance, and it's gorgeous. But as far as the carnation goes, I think it's just mixed so well, and it's blended so smooth together that it just mixed with the floral notes. So I cannot smell the carnation in here separately. But as far as the actual fragrance goes, this is a very deep, complex scent. And some people, they compare this fragrance with Davidoff Leather Blend. But to me, this is completely different. This is multifaceted, it's multidimensional, it has a life cycle to it. It's definitely not linear like Leather Blend, because I do have that. And that one, it's definitely like has a different vibe, and it's just not the same thing at all. This one is definitely more heavy, it's more complex, it's definitely not linear, and it's a multi-dimensional type of fragrance, where the other one is just very straightforward, and it's not even in the same class or category. You cannot compare those two at all with each other. So this is as far as the notes of this fragrance goes. So let's get to the performance and longevity of this fragrance. This fragrance has a lot of heavy notes in it besides the floral notes, so it performs really well, and it lasts for a very long time. When I sprayed this on, it lasted on me for about 8 to 10 hours. Now, the first initial 4 hours, it goes very strong, and after that, it becomes a skin scent. But the skin scent is pretty good, and it actually projects really well as well, which we'll get into. But for now, for the performance and longevity, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Now, let's get to the projection and sillage of this fragrance. This fragrance has a great sillage. It projects really well. I mean, on the first spray, as you guys saw, I just sprayed one. I mean, I did spray twice just to show you guys the sprayer, but it filled out the whole entire room, and it's still going very strong. The whole place here smells like this fragrance. So it has a great sillage. It's very strong. It projects really well. And the sillage has this very classy vibe about it. It has this very luxurious and sophisticated vibe about it. And for the projection and sillage, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 as well. Now, let's talk about the compliments of this fragrance. This fragrance gets a lot of compliments. It has this mass appealing vibe about it. There's something about it, even though it's niche and it's very luxurious and it's very unique, but at the same time, it has this very mass appealing vibe about it that a lot of people actually like. I had many people ask me what I'm wearing, and actually I got many compliments when I walked into a place. People are like, oh my God, what is this you're wearing? It smells so good. It's so classy. And these are the words that I was getting. I got classy, I got very luxurious, I got, oh, you smell very expensive today. So it does have that vibe about it, but at the same time, it does have something. It has something in it that makes it very pleasing to people, and it doesn't have that off-putting leathery note to it, which some of the fragrances have and makes them daring. This is definitely not a daring type of fragrance. It's very easy to wear, but at the same time, it's very classy. So as far as the compliments goes, I will give it a 9 out of 10 with this fragrance. Let's get to the versatility of this fragrance. This fragrance is definitely not very versatile. Again, it has very strong notes in it, the amber and the vanilla, and some of the notes that I talked about make this fragrance to be very unique. And because of that, you won't be able to wear this fragrance during the day, you won't be able to wear this fragrance to work, and you won't be able to wear this fragrance to school. But this fragrance would be doing great when you go for a night out or a special event or a party that you want to dress up, or even if you're going to a club, it would be great because it does have that very luxury vibe about it that you want to wear it with like a really nice outfit, and that would definitely go if you're going out to a club or if you're going out to a party or if you're going out on a date. This definitely would be a great date fragrance, I would say, for sure, because it has also a romantic vibe to it as well. It has that bit of powderiness to it, which is really interesting. Fragrantica does not mention that. It definitely has powderiness to it, but the powderiness is very interesting. It's not your typical floral powderiness. It's that dusty, new era type of a DNA powderiness. So don't let the powderiness scare you away. The powderiness makes it gorgeous. And I usually stay away from the fragrances that are too powdery, but this one, it's not too powdery because the powderiness makes it kind of leathery. So now, because of that, this fragrance, again, it's not very versatile. Now, as far as the seasons goes, actually, as far as the seasons goes, I think you can pull this off during the summertime as well because it has floral notes in it. So even though it's warm, spicy, there is something fresh about it. It does have a fresh vibe to it, which I think it allows you to definitely pull it off during summertime. So I think the perfect seasons would be fall and winter, but you can definitely pull it off during the summer and springtime as well. But I would definitely say more towards the evening. Even though it's floral, I would say this is a nighttime type of floral fragrance. And for that, for versatility, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. We get to the uniqueness of this fragrance. Now, again, I always mention that we're on my channel and I usually talk about very unique fragrances. So I should probably not even cover this part of the fragrance when I get to the uniqueness of the fragrance, because most of the fragrances that I talk about, they're very unique. Now, this one is definitely very unique. It definitely has this very special vibe about it that makes it unique that I never smelled before. It's very classy. It has something to it that makes it very special. There's nothing out there that you can compare it to. I know people compare this to Davidoff, but that one, like I said, it's different. It's oudish. It's burned. It smells like burned rubber. This one does not have any of that stuff in here. There's no oud smell. There's no dairy notes in here. everything is so smooth and so well blended. I mean, it's literally blended to perfection. And that's what it actually made me fall in love with this fragrance, because the blending is very nicely done. It's very classy. And yes, it's a very unique fragrance. And for that, as far as the uniqueness goes, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10, because again, it's a floral fragrance, and he did a great job as far as making a floral fragrance so interesting and so classy and powerful. This is also another word that I love to use for this fragrance. It's a very powerful type of fragrance. If you want to be like a boss, this definitely gives that vibe about it. It definitely has that bossy vibe to it, which I really like of this fragrance. So this as far as the uniqueness goes. With that being said, we get to the end of my video, and that's all I have for Rosendo Mateu number 5. And if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And you can also follow me on my Instagram. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon with another video. Peace and ciao. Yeah.